Hard struggle, like this reality.
She said, "Oh, you are going to Pine Ridge?" I said, "Yeah." And for a moment I thought, I hope she doesn't want to ride with me. And she says, "Oh, I would recommend you are not going." I said, "Why?" "It's dangerous. It's really dangerous." And she told me the story that she had to be escorted when she had to go to Pine Ridge. So people have all these horrific ideas how dangerous the reservation is. And I said, "You know what? I live here. My children go to school. I'm alive."
Mm-hmm. When you live here, you feel you're at the mercy of the government. You feel that. So like whenever something happens and you can't make it financially, you really feel that. So then becoming an entrepreneur, that's a big jump.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of steps that people need to be like taking in order to feel empowered and strong enough to like take initiative.
Yeah, we built this from scratch, and my father's an electrician, and my launching date was July 1st coming up. I want it to be like a AAA, like go on site if someone has a flat tire or needs coolant or anything of that sort, you know. I just really like helping people, and then if I could help, then that would be the best thing I could do, you know.
What's everybody else doing then? Like other dudes your
trying
age?
to stay alive, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of my homies in.
We've only been on this reservation for 130 years. That's about 6 generations. So money is even new to us. Mm-hmm. So even managing money and like gaining it and saving money, because our tribe, we used to have to work to survive the next winter.
Every winter, people will come together to cut wood. So I came home from the city at one time to cut wood, got in my old truck, started cutting firewood, bringing it into town, and then people would stop me, "Hey, can you cut us some firewood? We'll pay you." So it kicked off from there.
Here's the main reason why I did it. That's my grandfather and my grandmother, the whole crew. Those are my 2 older brothers, and then my auntie, aka her sister, and then a couple other aunties. That was a big reason why I did it, is because he was an entrepreneur himself, you know, just providing for the family and trying to do the right thing, you know.
As a child, he grew up in a teepee, and when a person would stand up in a teepee, one of the poles, they would bump their head on one of the poles, and they would have to understand which pole they bumped their head on, you know. If it was, and they would have to study or kind of practice that teaching. So that's the teaching of the teepee poles. And the doorway, we always face them to the east. And then also the smoke flaps. The smoke flaps, they represent the grandma and the grandpa. They say the grandma's on the left when you're looking at it, and the grandpa's on the right. So they stand above family also, kind of like watching over, protecting and stuff. So like during tough, cold winters, when they close the flaps, it's like grandma and grandpa embracing the family, keeping them safe and warm.
All this is for my Tio Shvelo, man. I just keep trying to keep strong, and, you know, try to do right by my mother, you know. Kind of big shoes to fill and walk behind, you know.
Notice how everything is up here like this, and then there's like maybe 10 feet of space that's not planted back here. The reason for that is, as these grow vertically, each one of them is moved like this. Each one of these plants themselves can produce over 50 pounds of produce, 50 to 60 pounds of produce, because you're constantly making it grow up this way, but you're pruning the bottom of it, and all that's left on it is the fruit, the tomatoes.
Okay.
But this is us, like I said, we've been here for a long time, trying to create different types of programs for people to become their own bosses.
And we drove around and couldn't find a place for lunch.
Thank you.
It's a food desert, and we just wanted to, you know, provide the children with healthy meals, organic and fresh. We have some stores here, but they're mostly like gas stations, and it's expensive and it's not fresh, and mostly not organic. And that's one thing I think we have There is kind of a new development over the last few years. People start growing their own garden.
And then we have Isabel and Celestine here, and they come over here, and then we have our kids go over there. I mean, they have their kids come over here and do the canning classes. So it's a really big, good collaboration kind of part of it.
In the books you read that they came from the east, and as the first settlers came into the east coast, all tribes were kind of pushed west, and that's why those Lakotas were moved west and took some of the territory of other tribes. It's Lakota, but most people know it as Sioux, Sioux. And the story is they invaded other tribal lands and they called them Chippewa, called them another Sioux, that is enemy or snake. And so that's where the word Sioux came from.
I was really looked upon like the smartest kid in my class and stuff, but a lot of people didn't think I was gonna even graduate, but I ended up graduating, and then I went to college and graduated from college as well with a degree in automotive.
You are not just feeding the child intellectual property. You support the child in its own development as a whole human being.
It's gonna be called Paint Horse Tire Shop.
Painted Horse Tire
Paint
Shop.
Horse. That's the name of the road.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what does that mean?
Eagle, Mambli, Wakita watch, kind of. Janku is road. So there's an eagle, circling.
We were doing a exercise on a farm in Montana the other day where we were trying to think through what form does your body take when you feel most connected in that peace. And so for me, it's an eagle. It's like an eagle kind of just floating with his wings out.
Yeah.
So I love it. I like what you're doing here.
We see them here circling.
Burn everything. Fuck this shit. I show you what destructive is. From out the flames where disruption lives. And they telling me like I should just forget. Might light him up, don't make me bust this shit. See, him and his car went missing. I might leave a tire, but this is the type of monster that eat lions and breathe fire. Can't take the heat, but where I sleep like a deep fryer. My scales rough, my teeth sharp like a meat grinder. There's no trust when they fear you. Smile at you, but they scared, and they praying on your downfall when they hear you. Ain't no telling what they want and they will do. Niggas try to shoot me out the sky, but I still flew. And won't nobody love you when you living off the ground. Can't be around who you care about, burn everything down. They see the light that you shine and want to dim it. I can't stand these dudes. The homie made a jump, the white man think we animals, but no, I ain't no chimpanzee, that's a lie. How could I be a gorilla? You know niggas can fly. Don't wanna see me in the sky racing, face it. You rather see me locked inside cages, wasted. My soul screams and soars above clouds and streams. Can't see the world from my perspective in your wildest dreams. I might roll with a pack, but I get high on my own. Keep my loved ones at a distance, so I ride out alone. And if I fall through the air, and you hearing a sound, don't come close, don't try to save me. I burn everything down. Said I might roll with the pack, but I get high on my own. Keep my loved ones at a distance, so I feel all alone. And if I fall through the sky, and you hearing a sound, don't come close, don't try to save me. I burn everything down. The dragon.
And like kids, whenever they start learning their culture and their language, you see them just blossoming. And like they love coming to school and they really try to like talk their language because it fits their identity. And then they start learning.
The left side, from here left, are the 4 classrooms. This is phase 2. This is phase 1. Phase 1 is done. And I will show you. And then phase 2 is what we're building now. But we're looking forward to have a retail area because, you know, one of the things is with our school, we depend on grants and donations. So we think we need to find some way to create revenue. There's no economy. People who live here and work here receive a salary and it goes out. So the dollar doesn't turn around.
It goes out
Outside of the reservation, like us too. We went to Rapid City yesterday to buy what we need, like food, office material, clothes, shoes, cart.
It's very hard to lift anyone out of poverty when and start a business when no one has any money. Because if no one has any money, where do your customers come from?
It's all a mirage, you know. And like, we ain't taking nothing when we're gone, but at the same time, that doesn't mean just give up and lay in a hole, you know. That means actually do something and be productive as a human being, you know. You want to bring positivity, bring positivity. You want to be negative, you know, stay over there.
How can you sleep at night when you put millions in a boat or in a car, knowing a few miles away people have no food, children have no roof over their head? How can you sleep?
If it makes you happy, would you rather go do a 40-hour job and not be happy and still just live life, knowing that you want to do something else? You know, you want to be a plumber, and you want to be a construction, you want to be a singer or a dancer. You know, just do what you got to do, man. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks, because you have to be the one to take it out of yourself and pursue what you want. And this is what I want.